Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your July 2019 read. I'm Jade with yesYesYes. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're brand new, welcome. Well, first, hold on. I just want to say thank you. Oh, well, let me first say that Paco is in the background talking, so if you hear Paco talking, it just means he agrees. So, Paco the kitty. All right. Secondly, I wanted to say thank you so much for all of your likes and shares and subscribes. I'm really enjoying doing this channel, and all of the comments make a huge difference. So thank you so much for leaving comments. If you feel this, if you really like the style or feeling the reading, hit that thumbs up button. It helps my channel out so much. And if you're interested in having a personal read, right now my website's a little funky. It's yesYesYes.life. However, it's being migrated, so contact me by email, yesYesYes.life.now@gmail. Let's see what else. What else? I think that's about it. I'll just tell you what's going on. We're going to start with the cards that were chosen at the beginning of the year, 2019 overall. That link to that reading is in the box below. And then I'm also going to do a Celtic cross with the Rider-Waite. So first, let's start with your overall for the whole year, Thunder. I love this card. This is the card that creates the change. This is the slow rumbling before the lightning strikes. And you can see that there's buffalo. So there's a lot of power in this card, and I feel like there's a lot of change that's rumbling under the surface for you, Capricorns. I love you guys. You hold so much. You are like so opposite of me that I love it. So you hold so much weight and responsibility for all of us. And I want to just thank you every time I talk with you, because I don't think that you know how appreciative the rest of us signs really are, that we don't have to hold this weight. We don't have to have these low rumblings underneath. But there's a powerhouse of energy beneath you that is charging this entire year. Now this month in particular, you have the Tower energy, big changes, and this is the opposite of your sign. There's a solar eclipse in the opposite of your sign. So you're being challenged in relationships. You're looking at yourself as well as in partnership or in relationship to others. And it doesn't have to mean intimate. It could be all kinds of relationships. But those are up for review and up for great change. And I'm filming this on the eclipse, so that also resonates for me. Big, huge changes. And these are the changes that have come from the outside to create the rumble, right? So we've got this rumble that's happening. So this is actually going to create the change that the rumble is starting. This is like the lightning strike, okay? Now, what's specifically happening for you this month is a big change in terms of your burdens and weight that you might carry. This is usually family weight, or it could be story that you've told yourself, perhaps religious story, religious family weight, but burdens, right? The cross that you bear is what this card is really about. So whatever story that you have been holding on to, that might be, and maybe you didn't realize you were holding on to it, but something that's been defining you is changing. And that could even be like the mere connection to being a Capricorn, right? It's changing. That's what I mean, like, let's lighten this load for you, Capricorn, all right? So we're gonna go to the Rider-Waite now. I have pre-shuffled the deck. I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more while we're talking, and then I'm gonna let the cards choose me this time. So it's up to you to decide if you wanna fast forward, you can. So I'm gonna let the cards jump out to me. And the way that this works for me is that I let the card draw my hand down. It gets heavy. My hand gets heavy towards where the card wants, which card wants to be chosen. And I'm choosing 10 cards, so it'll take a little bit. I'm gonna keep talking though about this amazing solar eclipse that's just generating a lot of energy and attention and intention. So this is a new moon. This is the chance to lay down any groundwork or intention that you have for what you want to create in the next 6 months, right? You're gonna see inklings of it in the next 2 weeks, but for the next 6 months, it'll be really interesting to see what comes forward. And think about what you started in January, right? Whatever project or even like kernel of idea that you had, little seed planted from, did I say July? I meant January, right around your birthday. If there were seeds that you were planting then, they should start to be blossoming now, and then just think in 6 months from now where you will be. The other thing to consider is that a year ago you were closing out a cycle because the last eclipses happened last year, July, August time. So think about what cycle closed last year and what's happening there in terms of, you know, if your life has changed because of that cycle. Maybe you finally gave in or gave up some type of emotional connection to someone. I just read that through something. 4 more cards. So, and then finally, this eclipse is hearkening back to the time 18 years ago, which is when it was last in this, this configuration. And so you might have a return of some sort, hearkening back to something that happened 18 years ago. Here's my example, is that 18 years ago I was in a relationship with someone and we ended it amicably. Well, just last week, his new fiance and I ran into each other. I didn't know he was getting ready to get married. I think this is his 2nd marriage even. So it was like, oh, hey. And so I felt like after our conversation that I was kind of blessing them and passing the torch along in a way. And I didn't even realize that I still had an emotional connection to this person because it had been so long, but apparently it was still there because, you know, there were tears, there was, you know, it was a lovely exchange. It was weird, but perfect. So what I'll say is that that's, you know, that's the kind of remembering or the memory that may come up for you, is just something that is still in your energy that you didn't realize that needs to be changed or transmuted, right? Or released. Okay, we have our cards, Capricorn. I'm curious about what is going on for Capricorn. Well, we have the 7 of Cups, choices, indecision. You might be kind of feeling like there's just too many things out there, too many ways to go, too many things coming at you. You might be in a playboy, playgirl mode where, you know, you're just delighting in life right now even and just choosing what you want, okay? Remember, we're talking about what's going on for self as well as in relationships. Give me 1 second. I just need to take a drink. Delicious. Okay. Now, what's crossing you? What is going on to cross you is the 8 of Swords. So perhaps you feel like you've put yourself in this situation where you're indecisive, right? You've taken on maybe too much. We talked about these burdens earlier on. So you've taken on too much and now you're paralyzed. You might have too many options to choose from that you're paralyzed, and you've put yourself in this situation of being paralyzed. So you're seeing that you're responsible for it, which adds another burden, of course. And you're not seeing the fact that you can get yourself out of this at any time, okay? Now, hopefully this reading will help you do that. Let's see what the foundation of this energy is. The 6 of Pentacles, excuse me. There was an imbalance. Perhaps you were in a place of receiving and not giving so much in the past, or that this is just a story that you've had throughout your life where there's a scarcity issue of not having enough, or perhaps you give too much in your relationships. If this is, and if it's in the reverse, it's because it's imbalanced, right? So you've put yourself in a situation where you have too many choices, you're paralyzed because there's just too much, right? Too much. And it's coming from a place of not having enough. Interesting, Capricorn. I would think nothing less of you. So you've manifested this because you come from a place where there may not have been as much, and now you've got too much. You took on too much because you didn't have any of it in the past. Now let's look at the near past. Five of Pentacles. Now it came out in the reverse. I do like that. You were included in something. Maybe other people felt left out from you, but there was something that could have easily been, you know, awful, but it wasn't. You had included yourself in some type of situation. We're talking about emotions here as well as health and well-being and money, okay? But I really feel like we're talking about partnership as well, so I'm gonna keep using that here. In the near past, there was a connection, and it could be even that you two were fighting against adversity, but you were included in something in the past. Let's see what's going on in the future, excuse me, this is present. 10 of Pentacles in the upright. So you could be in a family situation right now that feels pretty full, okay? So, and this could mean family like parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. I'm feeling like there's just a lot of people. Again, with this burden, you've got a lot of people in your life right now who are depending on you, and you have put yourself in this situation probably because maybe you grew up not having enough. Maybe your family was small growing up and now you've got a big one because you wanted to have a big one. And in the past, you saw that there was a place for you to create this. You were included in perhaps a family, like this is a married-in family, and you have become not necessarily the breadwinner, but the person that everyone looks to now. You are the energy savior. How about that? So that it can go across the lines, right? Like you work really hard, people can depend upon you in this family. And this, again, it may not be an actual family. We could be talking about work. We could be talking about your community. But there's a burden here because a lot of people are relying on you, and you put yourself in this situation because you didn't want to be alone. Totally get that, Capricorn. And you're really good at getting stuff done, okay? Now let's see what's going on in the near future. We've got Judgment card. This is Sagittarian energy as well, but this is similar to the Tower. I look at these two cards similarly, where you're going to have to look at what's really going on and you're going to have to make a decision. This is going to be, it's karma, right? Karma coming in and deciding what's best for you if you're not going to choose, okay? But really you should be choosing, because that Tower is going to rip you to pieces if you don't choose it. And what that means is, what can you really stand for? What can you handle? And it doesn't mean that you're failing if you say, no, this is too much, okay? But what is it that you can be relied upon, and what is way overstepping for other people to depend upon you, okay? Too much. It's just too much is what I'm feeling for you, Caps, okay? We got to dial it back. It's going to be really hard to do so, but this is karma coming in saying no human needs to hold this much weight, okay? It could also be, this is looking back, and this could all be mental too, because we have this 8 of Swords here. So this could be a looking back at this situation, how, that you might have had a happy family where you felt connected, and it came from a place where you wanted to feel balanced, and now you're looking back at it because you're really wishing that you could have that again, okay? That's entirely possible as well. So how do you see this, Capricorn? Ace of Wands in the reverse. So you're seeing like there is, well, again, when it's in the reverse, the potential's still here for it to be something new, something exciting, but in the reverse, you're not seeing that anything can get started from all of this, right? It's kind of like you got to put it all down and start over. And this is passion. Wands are passion, wands are creative action. So this is stagnancy, right? Just feeling kind of stuck in it. You might have thought that this was something to begin with, something amazing, something new, and it just ended up being something that gave you even more weight, that didn't get started, that couldn't go forward, something along those lines. Yeah, there's some weight here for real, Capricorn. Now, how are other people seeing this? They're seeing this as the Hangman in reverse. So they're seeing this as there's a perspective that needs to happen, that you might have even, you might have put yourself up, right? They might have seen that you're the one who made yourself stagnant. stopped everything, took too much on, and now you're trying to come out of it, trying to make this big change by releasing whatever these burdens were, whatever this indecision in the past, or the foundation of everything, releasing that. Now, your hopes and your fears are Seven of Pentacles, that you're just going to keep waiting for it to work itself out. Okay? And you can't. This Judgment card is here calling you to make the action. You're gonna have to do this. You have to put things down, Capricorn, so that you can move forward. Okay? You're gonna have to say and admit that you can't do it all. You're gonna have to peace out on some people. Okay? The hope is that eventually it would grow and figure itself out, but it's not gonna happen. Okay? You need to interfere a little bit more. You need to intervene a little bit more in your own life. Not just taking things on, but taking care of yourself. Okay? Now, what's the outcome based on what everything is that's going on is we've got the Strength card in the reverse. Okay? Leo energy here. This is the need to have some self-worth, the need to, and you might just be exhausted by all of this, Capricorn. This is a very heavy reading. I sometimes get heavy readings for you, but only, I feel like they usually turn around. This one's still kind of stuck. So we'll get some clarifications here, but not feeling yourself, not feeling like you have the energy to handle any of this. And the truth is you do. You absolutely do. It's just that you've taken on too many things. And I would totally struggle in this situation too, where, you know, whatever it was, if this is a family situation where you've taken on, you've said, and again, we talked about that possibly being a family burden, you've taken on, you know, what your father might need, what your grandfather might need, you know, you've got the children's needs, especially summertime perhaps. So there's just too much. Also, like, you know, trying to work, getting enough sleep, and then maybe, you know, what's even going on with your love life, that's kind of all over the place too, Capricorn. So I'm just feeling like you just are having a really hard time balancing it all because you have too many things too many options. This is also a card of illusion, okay? Let's go back to that maybe. So you may be thinking or planning for things in the future that really have, and I can't really imagine this, but that really cannot get started yet because you have to look at the truth of what really is. You have to choose karmically what's best for you. And that's what judgment really is. It's that karmic choice that comes in, that karmic truth that comes from the clouds, comes from above. Okay, I'm curious as to what this 10 of coins is in your present energy for Capricorn. What is this 10 of coins? Let me see if I can get more specific on what's going on here. 10 of coins, what's going on for Capricorn in the present tense, please? Okay, guys, you can talk to me. Let's see what's going on. Ace of Pentacles did not want to go back in. So our money's a little thrown off right now. Can't get a new project started. Seven of Wands. These are things that are not going back in. They're not falling out, but they're not going back in. So if this is a money issue, you might be trying to pay off a debt. You might be trying to pay off multiple debts, and you're really going to have to come to a place where you're setting your boundaries really clear. And it could be financial, could be health oriented as well, or just your well-being, your mental well-being, because there's just too much, Capricorn, just too much. And the truth is that if you don't take care of yourself right now, you're going to be angry. You're going to take that out on other people. And you don't want to do that. These are people that you have decided to love, decided to take on. But I'm feeling like there could be where you're really close to lashing out. You're really close to cracking. Okay. Now what's going on in the future here? The near future. Ooh, the Sun card. Okay. So we want to have that success. You want to have that emotional blessing of the Sun. There is, okay, good. You're going to speak clearly and you're going to move swiftly, okay, in the near future. Because I think that you see the promises here. I think that you're over it, whatever this situation is with taking on too much, okay? You're over it, you're about to crack. You have no other choice but to look at what's going on because you know that you want to have the success. It's just not here yet. You know that what you've been doing is not working because you can see that it's not working. And the only way for it to work is for you to be clear with your words and swift with your actions, okay? Now, this is great energy for you to take on, and I think the way in which you're doing this is, it's just gonna snap, right? You're just gonna have a click one day where you realize, nope, I cannot do this anymore. I have to speak my truth. I have to be strong with my words, say no when no is appropriate, and I have to continue to move forward, continue to take action with the energy that I have that's best for me and for perhaps my smaller kingdom, not the huge kingdom, not, you know, all the people and the dog. You don't have to protect all these people and the dog. Maybe just your small, intimate family, okay? That's who you decide you have the energy for, okay? So you're reassessing where your energy can be placed, I guess it would be reevaluating what is best for you energetically in life, a lot of ways, because I feel like this is deep pattern stuff, right? You might have always been a yes person or a helpful person because you always were able to get the job done. But the truth is, just because you're good at it doesn't mean you have to do it. Other people have to learn how to take care of themselves as well. And you know, forgive me if I'm talking about your grandfather who's, you know, not doing well and needs a lot of help. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, you know, don't help out people who really, truly need help. Just temper yourself and figure out how much energy you can give to this and that, right? You have to, you know, you can burn yourself out. I think I had this earlier too. There's a lot of like burnout right now. So just be careful, okay? Now, I didn't ask anything, so we'll talk about the cards that just fell, but I'm looking for the strength in reverse. What's this outcome? What kind of outcome are we promised if we can get past all of this, okay? We can make a decision. That decision needs to be made. You have to look straight at it and speak your truth, okay? The decision so that you can feel good knowing where your boundaries are, because this is the stuff that flew out, right? 10 of Cups, feeling more emotionally stable, even though this cycle is not quite finished yet, okay? So you might at least emotionally feel better in your family situation, even if the cycle hasn't completely finished or closed out, okay? You might find that this cycle that you've been in, you can at least reset so that it works best for you. There's some deep karma here, Capricorn, because we're talking about patterning that you've developed from childhood, right? So if you grew up in a house where it felt like you didn't have enough, that imprints, right? You have some imprintation in the way in which you work with people from that point forward. So that's what we're talking about, is that because you don't want to be ignored, you want to be included, because you want to be a part of a family, you say yes. Yes, I can help you. Yes, I can take care of you. Yes, I can mow the lawn. Yes, I could run for do the groceries. Yes, I can. Yes, you can borrow this money. You've become that yes person, but you're about to crack. And when you flip that switch, you're gonna realize all of a sudden that you don't have all the life that you wanted, all the beauty in life that you wanted, because you've said yes to too many people besides yourself. Then you step up in your own power, speak your truth, reassess, reevaluate where your energy is, who deserves it most first, okay? You could still use the same amount of energy. I would say no, you should probably pull some back because you're exhausted. But I'm feeling that you figure this all out. And in the future, even though you're still working on feeling your self-worth, feeling strong, I feel like if you make that choice of putting yourself first, even though it's a cycle that you've been dealing with, it's going to feel more emotionally secure for you. Okay? Deep stuff, Capricorn. This is not the end of this story. This is like not a full story because that cycle is still here. But what I'm feeling for you is that there's some deep karmic lessons that are being learned. And while you may flip a switch this month, you're still developing yourself so that this is your truth, right? This is your truth, and this cycle ends up, you get to start a new cycle with this completely. Oh, Capricorn. I love you. I love you, Caps. This one is intense. I'll make sure that you know that. I'll send you all my love. I'll see you guys next time.